Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a blessed day. Sorry that I'm not live on camera, but I did not want to uh, miss my time to come on. So I was like, you know what? Don't no monkey stop this show. It's time for 100 Days of Purpose, and I am Coach Linda. And today we're going to be talking about the pecking order. And it is inspired by the sermon that T.D. Jakes preached, I believe for the first time in 2012, and it has been an inspiration and a sermon that I refer back to very often, especially when I am about to go into a transitional situation where I am going from one circumstance to a different circumstance, or changing. And I hope today that this will inspire you to look at your situation a little bit different, because many of us, we have got to make a change. A change is occurring whether we want it to or not. And the pecking order, when he preached this sermon, it was inspirational in getting women to be empowered to take control of their destiny and understand that they had a place at the table, that they deserve to live the life that was intended for them to live. And as a coach that talks about purpose and destiny and fate and all of those words that we as Christians use but kind of shy away from, because we always want to lump it in, well, if the Lord say the same kind of thing, which is the way that we use it, not the way that God intended us to use it. But the way that we use it, it's almost like a cop out. Like, if something doesn't happen, well, then it wasn't God's will for me. And the word of God clearly states that it is his will for us to prosper and be in good health. And he says, for I know the plans, I know the thoughts I have concerning you. And so there is a definite expected end that God has in store for each and every one of us, whether we're Christian or not Christian. And so as a coach, it is my job to get you to see that there is a direction for your life, that there is a purpose for your life, that there is a significance for your life, and to get you to desire to walk in that purpose and that significance. And as a Christian, your overarching purpose is to bring reconciliation. Is to bring redemption, is to bring people into the knowledge of Christ and into the knowledge of his kingdom, and to further his kingdom. And how we do that as Christians is what I'm talking about. Okay, because some people think, well, I gotta thump the Bible. Some people think, well, I gotta be, it's within the four walls of the church, and that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. There is a marketplace out there that we need to get into. Jesus, when he was on the earth, and I'm talking to my Christian friends because I want to get you to buy in on this, because we as Christians tend to miss out on what it is that we're really supposed to be doing, because we use the, well, if it's God's will, or I'm just praying about it. I need to know what God's will for my life is. And the truth of the matter is, we already know what God's will for our life is, but we don't want to accept it because we believe lies, because we believe the deception of the enemy, because we do believe what other people have said about us and to us, and we have taken ownership of that. And I've already talked about, what lies do you believe? And can you handle the truth? Because the truth of the matter is, you have greatness on the inside of you. You have a purpose on the inside of you. You have significance on the inside of you, and you need to walk in that. So let me get off the Christian now. I think I've given you enough to think about. So let's just talk about the world in general. We all have a purpose, and the pecking order is this. The P stands for positioning, right? There has to come a time where there is a position that you must take. You must take the right position. You must be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. I'm going to say that again. You must be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And so when you are in that place and you are doing the right thing, and it is the timing that is the right timing for it to occur, you are going to see that things fall together. Now, is it going to be perfect? Is it going to be easy street? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that should not, I should say, that should not deter you from doing what it is that you were put on earth to do. You are here for a reason, and I'm gonna pound that into your head. You're here for a reason. You are not just here to take up space. You are not just here to be seen by a few, but you are here to be seen by many, and your light has got to shine. Your light has got to shine. So you've got to be in the right position. You got to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Again, this was inspired by his sermon, but I'm putting my twist on it because there is a revelation that has come to me, even more so. When I watched his sermon again, that trying to prepare for this, there was so much that was said that just started clicking in my head, started connecting the dots, started allowing me to see the truth, and setting me free to think and to do and to be. But you got to be in the right position. You got to be in the right headspace. You got to be in the right heart space. The right place at the right time, doing the right thing. The E stands for exposure. So he kind of has four, like I have four. My four are, there's the resources, the influence, the willingness, and then the opportunities, right? And so he says, if you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, then you get exposed. And when you are exposed, you get this exposure. That means people now know, oh, wait a minute, Linda's the one I need to go to if I want to get a different perspective on purpose and begin to walk in my purpose. I need to go to Miss Purpose, which is Coach Linda Hillman. And so I need to find her because I've heard about her. The woman with the issue of blood heard that Jesus was coming to town. There was exposure. She was exposed to the news that Jesus was coming to town, and she was able to make the decision based on her knowledge, based on what she was exposed to. But in the other, and on the flip side of that, Jesus was being exposed across the world for working miracles, because he came for a reason. He came to die that you might have life. And so I'm trying to get us to see that everything is connected, everything matters, everything needs to, you need to understand why things are occurring in your life and connect the dots, which means you got to step back and look at the bigger picture. You are not going through the hell that you're going through just because it chose you. It chose you for a reason. And I say all the time, it is to sharpen you. It's to help mold you into that perfect being that you are supposed to be, so that you can do what it is that you were placed on earth to do. So you have to be in the right position, right place at the right time, doing the right thing. That is going to bring about exposure. People are now going to know, oh, that's the go-to person. That's where I need to get to. If I want a solution to this problem, they have it. So let me go find them. And so you're exposed to the world. But exposure also means that when you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're not in the right place at the right time, it can be bad exposure too. Okay, so we've got to put ourselves in a place where the exposure is good and opportunities avail, because the exposure is good. And the people that need you, the people that are drawn to you, will come. It's like the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. But you got to build it. Exposure. So the first one, position. The second one, exposure. Then there is the C in the word PECK, right? And the C stands for courage. Now, again, let me refer back to mine. I have resources, influence, and then willingness. You see how they're lining up together? And so you have position, you have exposure, and now courage. It's going to take courage to live a life of purpose. That's why people don't want to do it, because they think that, oh, well, if I decide to live this life of purpose, now everything's going to fall into place. And because everything does not fall into place, they back down and they shy away from it, and they're like, oh, this thing is too hard, I can't continue to go. But it takes courage, it takes willingness to do what is necessary to be done, so that you can make your life count. You got to do it against all odds. You got to do it against what the people will say. You got to do it against what the people will think. You got to do it even regardless of what you say and what you think, because you believe lies so long that you will try to talk yourself out of it. But you've got to have the courage to say, no, I'm sticking to it. Come what may, I'm sticking to it, because I know this is what I'm supposed to do, because I'm in the right position. I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And I'm being exposed for being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And so I cannot allow myself to let fear chased me out of this place, because I belong here. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to live. And yeah, it's not easy, but I have the courage to face anything that comes my way, because I know that I'm doing the right thing. So bring it. Bring it. It has nothing to do with your haters. Stop focusing on them. They don't matter. It has nothing to do with your disbelief of what you are, and how good you are, and how great you are, and how much you should shine. It has nothing to do with that. So stop believing it. Stop throwing that at you. Take up your courage. and walk in faith and believe and trust that you are doing the right thing. So let's go over it again. Position, right place, right time, doing the right thing. Exposure, you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. People will be exposed to you, be drawn to you, and will come to you. And it will be noised abroad. For some of you that don't read the Bible and don't know what that noised abroad means, it means people will start talking. People will tell other people, did you know she was, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And I love that, because good news and bad news, they still talking about you. They still talking about what you're doing. So let them talk. Then courage, 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 not to throw in the towel, courage, not to give up, courage to keep pressing, courage that when the going gets tough, you won't give in. Courage, courage to believe that you deserve your seat at the table, courage to believe that you can help somebody else, courage to believe that you were put here for such a time as this, courage to do in spite of anything else, do what you were made and created to do. And the K of pecking is knowledge. Not only do you have to be able to go out and get the knowledge that you need and to learn and to grow and to continue to evolve, but with walking in purpose, there's so much knowledge to be had about your purpose, about the people that you are called to serve and reach and touch and transform their lives, and the ripple effects that you will have will bring about knowledge. And that knowledge, once you put that knowledge into action and you take it and you learn from it, becomes wisdom. And there's that wisdom that you know the difference between the boundaries that you have and the freedom that you have. So you must attain knowledge. You must attain knowledge. And in all thy getting, get an understanding. Because that understanding is what's going to turn that knowledge into wisdom. That understanding is going to give you the fortitude to have courage. That understanding is going to help you be exposed in the way that you're supposed to be exposed, and not for the bad. It's going to keep you in position, because you've got to remain in that position. And people will know that you are authentic, that you are true, that you are the one by your character. Again, PECK stands for position, exposure, courage, knowledge. I say it this way: resources, influence, willingness, and opportunities. Opportunities to do what you were put here to do. Opportunities to touch other lives besides your own, because it's greater than just you. Your purpose is not for you and your family alone. It's for you and the world that you will touch. There are people waiting on you to show up. There are people waiting to see your shine. There are people waiting to hear what you have to say. And that's the truth. Because you have significance. So let me end with this. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about because I talked about yesterday the butterfly getting out of its cocoon, and it has to beat its wings because that's going to give the strength so that the butterfly can fly, right? And then there is the chicken who is coming out, the chick that's being hatched out of the egg. And if you help it, you hinder it, you cause it to uh not to develop what it needs to develop so that it can live a healthy life, right? And so the chicken has to peck its way out. And in that pecking, his beak beating against that shell until the shell breaks and cracks, and he keeps pushing and stretching and breaking that shell, breaking the boundaries, the tight restraints of the shell, because it's time. He's been in there long enough. He's developed and he's ready to be seen. He's ready to come into the world. He's ready to do what is necessary to be a chicken, right? So he's pecking out of that shell because the very incubator that kept him safe is now his prison. And so he has to get out of that if he's going to continue to live. And very right now, some of you guys are in the incubator of life, and the situations and the circumstances that you are in are now becoming detrimental to you. And you've got to break out. You've got to be like that butterfly and like that chicken. And you've got to come out of the cocoon. You've got to come out of the egg, because if you remain in that situation, it is going to snuff your life out. It's going to take you out of the game. It's going to disqualify you. So you have got to come out of that tight spot. When a baby is in the mother's womb for 9 months, they say that if you go past 9 months, then you start to get into health issues, not just for the baby, but for the mother that's carrying the baby. There is a time and a place where you have got to come out of the incubator. You've got to come out of that situation. Yes, you felt safe in it. Yes, it was okay for yesterday, but today you have outgrown it, and you need to stretch, and you need to break out, and you need to peck your way out, and you need to beat your way out until you break it, because there's the freedom of moving to the next level. There's the freedom of knowing that you have got to be something different now. You've got to be seen. You've got to be heard. You got to enter into the world. You got to get in the game. And when you do that, there's the strength in the process. See, we thought the process was there to harm us and to take us out and to disqualify us, but the struggle is to make us strong, to give us the fortitude to stand. It gives us the fortitude, the strength that we need to be the very best individual that we can, to touch the lives of those that are waiting to be touched by us. And so you push, you peck, you beat your way through those circumstances. You break out of those shells, you break out of those cocoons. And here is your new orders. Get in the right position. Allow the exposure to come. Take courage, and you're doing the right thing. and allow knowledge to engulf you, develop you, and lift you to new levels. Because then and only then can you be a person of purpose. I am Coach Linda. It has been an honor and a blessing to be with you today on 100 Days of Purpose. Today is day 19, I believe. We doing this thing. We doing this thing. Y'all be interactive. Y'all tell me. You got questions? Well, Linda, I heard what you said, but what about this? Come on, bring your questions. Bring it. Bring it. I guarantee you, I eat, sleep, and drink this. This is who I am. I'm not coming on here putting on a show for you. This is who I am. Challenge me. I challenge you. If you need resources, if you need coaching, if you need to that one-on-one, you get a free consultation. Go to destinedtobeyou.com. Go there. It's time that you invest in yourself. It's time that you invest in who you are. Maybe you're doing it, but you need to be refreshed. Maybe you thought you were doing it and you on the wrong road. You on street B Street when you should be on A Street. Maybe you have no clue. You're going to school and you're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Come to Coach Linda. I can help. I can help. Put you in the arena where you need to be, to put you in position that will allow you to have exposure. Help you develop courage so you can keep getting the knowledge. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Change is not easy, but it's necessary. Because if you stay where you are, you will not survive, let alone thrive and prosper. So you have a prosperous, you have a blessed day. It's Happy Sunday. I'm getting ready to go and get this sermon, and I'm going to preach it with the fire of God in my belly, because I already feel the anointing flowing over my head. If you're available, check it out. Go to New Life Ministries right here on Facebook. I stream live there and on YouTube. Come join me and get a word for your soul. A word that's going to bring life. A word that's going to empower you. Because he knew what he was doing when he created you, when he named you what he named you. So remove all the labels, remove all the titles, and become who you were created to be. I'm Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose, and I'm out.
Life can bring us storms. Those moments where we wander, wonder, doubt. The journey doesn't stop, but the progress does. It can be lonely, painful. Sometimes we try to stare it down, as if we could somehow will it to go away. Or we think we can go toe-to-toe and come out the other side, unscathed. We often forget just how small we are. The truth is, storms are inevitable. But when they appear, we have a protector, A Savior who knows a thing or two about calming storms. A God who is a stronghold in times of trouble. In our weakness, He is strong. In our fear, He is courage. In our desperation, He is peace. Yes, storms are inevitable. But our God is invincible.